Welcome to What's Going On in the UC, and today we're going to talk about rough weather ahead. Now, you got people in the movement saying that the fall was just mythology, and if it was just mythology, then we're kind of wasting our time here because we're all gathered around the implications of something that never happened and it doesn't exist, right? Then you got people who saying that the Unification Church was some kind of attempt that failed, so it's time to stage a grand exodus. And then you've got people who use those previous excuses as excuses to just do what's comfortable to them, like go sleep around and, just kind of leave the church and, drink and gamble or smoke or do things that, their flesh has wanted to do for a long time. You've got people supporting issues like gay marriage. You've got people supporting every single issue that tends to weaken America and the whole concept of freedom. You've got people making moral equivalents to the worst stuff and the best stuff in humanity and saying it's all good. So we got rough weather ahead because all of those concepts are here inside the movement. I remember the parable that Jesus gave about the 10 virgins. 5 of them were wise and 5 of them were foolish. And the foolish ones, went outside and they lit their lanterns and burned up all their oil. And then they asked the wise virgins for some of their oil, and the wise virgins said no, because we need our oil, and so else we won't recognize the groom when he approaches, because they've got to be able to see in the dark, right? So basically what happened was the groom went inside. He came, was recognized, went inside with the 5 wise virgins, and that cruel parable does make absolutely no moral equivalence. That there's a time where actually the groom, which represents God or the Messiah or the movement of absolute goodness, right? Where some people are so lost in the dark that they, no matter how much God might want to help, they're just out. Here I am. I'm thinking I want to reach out to a lot of these church members. Many of them are blessed children, and it seems like a plague of people just losing faith. And I want to reach out and I want to say something. But you know what? There are things that I know clearly. And what I know clearly is that this entire world is suffering from lack of love. And the short of it is, if you don't have the cure for lack of love, then shut up. You're not saying anything. My Father, true Father, He came with a cure for lack of love. And it's contingent upon us recognizing that cure for what it is. And the Bible, if you read the book of Revelations, it's all about perception. For those with eyes to see, for those with ears to hear. Eyes to see means you've got to want to see it, and you've got to have a preparation to recognize things of value. I see a lot of people who are blind, who do not have eyes to see, who do not have ears to hear, and they feel that many horizontal things are coming under threat. And actually they feel threatened by vertical types. And you know who you are. If you feel threatened by vertical types, at this point on this day, in October 2013, listen, if we have to part our ways, that's fine. You go your way, I go mine. Don't tell me what I say offends you, because I don't want to hear it. Because it's me not saying what I believe is like basically listening to someone tell me shut up and die. So I'm not telling you to shut up and die. I'm not going to listen to you tell me to shut up and die. But I'm going to tell you, if destruction is what you're headed for and you don't want to hear a message of salvation, I don't care if you're a blessed child. I don't care if you call yourself a church member. You don't know the principle and you want to open your mouth and protect your flesh from being judged, okay, and you want to side with your flesh, or you want to side with your ego, or you want to side with some sort of comfortable thing that you're comfortable with, and you want to twist the truth, and you want to come up with all kinds of justifications for twisted truth and all this kind of things, at this point, I love you, but I think there's not too much we can do for people who are lost like that. The Bible does say in the last days the very elect will be deceived, and many of us are deceived. And I've had it absolutely up to here. As for me and my house, we're going to believe that the fall was sexual, and we're going to believe that the change of blood lineage happens in the blessing. We're going to believe that the greatest gift that ever be given to mankind is the blessing. And the difference between the world we live in now and the world that we're trying to create as true children of God, the difference is that in the world that we're trying to create, the blessing or sexual activities, the sexual union of man and woman is clearly is to be seen as a gift. And in the world that we're trying to come from, the sexual energies of men and women are assumed by personal desire, without regard for culture, without regard for future and humanity. And you know, sexual energy is too powerful, and that is why we're destroying this world, because we use that energy in complete ignorance. And I'm about a world, you know, the book of Revelation says that the New Jerusalem will come down. It says, blessed are those that wash their robes. Okay, that wash their robes means to wash your spirit. That they may enter the city by the gate. That means we may enter the holy place. We may enter even the ideal world with permission. And what is this a big metaphor for? That we can enter into husband-wife relationship, which is the throne of new life, the dwelling place of God. We can enter into that relationship not by stealth, not like a burglar, but we can enter welcome. That is the blessing. Of course, the fact is, all the political stuff going on, if you want to blame the right thing, all the political stuff going on in the movement for the last 30, 40 years have kept us off track, off message, and, you know, but that is our message. We stand for people entering into that relationship with the full blessing of God by the gate, fully welcome. We stand against the concept of climbing over the wall based on self-interest and getting into the whole moment when man and woman comes together based on self-centeredness, with no deference for ancestors, no deference for the concept of lineage, no deference for the offspring, no deference for God's original intention. Okay? We are entering in the gate when we do it the right way. That means with the full blessing of God, not like thieves over the wall. Okay? Anyway, talk to you later.